The hungry clothe the naked, give water to those who thirst, man. I ain't got time to argue about the Bible with you.
Woo! Dropped Alfie, the single, Alfie, for his upcoming project as well.
And then Nick Baldwin.
And Nick Baldwin also dropped something too. So, man, go look at these joints, man. And that's it for me, the entertainment report.
All right, man. So we only got a short time with this brother from another mother. Everybody compares me to him.
Sean's third
I took
brother.
off my glasses so you didn't get confused. But
Sean's second brother.
we got Jay Kwest in the building.
What up?
We've known Jay Kwest for a while, man. We used to do, like, y'all know about this. We used to do this thing called Destinations, and he was on the team for a short time and murdered it. So he had to move up to Chicago. How have you been since then, man?
What's funny is I got those same glasses.
Really? Don't say that.
Those Warby Parker.
I'm gonna put them on.
Yeah. No, we need to be twins for real. I've been good. Just thank you all, for having me here, even if for a few minutes. I mean,
I'm gonna get my hair long again and curl it up.
I'm gonna put you on blast.
Please, go ahead.
Put you on blast.
Go ahead.
A long time ago, I can't even remember the year, man. This probably was 2004-ish, 2005-ish. Somebody handed me a mixtape. It was your mixtape. Mm-hmm. It was the dopest mixtape I ever had my hands on. NCHH. You're underrated in our genre. Why is that?
Is it purposeful?
Well, I mean, maybe the simple answer is I don't say Jesus enough for folks, right?
Okay.
I think that's the easy answer, that when people just hear it, they like, is this Christian? I'm not even sure. It kind of related to the conversation earlier, but I mean, at a deeper level, I think that a part of that's on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I put out 2020 at 05, I was a senior at Morehouse. You know what I'm saying? So I was finishing an undergrad degree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put out another thing and then went immediately into seminary and spent 3 years doing that. As soon as I graduated, started pastoring and was making music throughout, but have been pastoring 5 years now, married, got a baby. So, like, a part of that's on me, but I think the better I do at getting it out there, you know what I'm saying? People hear it and are like, it's made for a certain kind of folk, a certain kind of ear who want to hear music in a different kind of way, And it's definitely not for some people who want to hear like a whole lot of Bible. Well, I think the Bible's there. It's just not like, hey, y'all,
well,
and Mark,
out of you know what I'm saying? It's in you.
Yeah, no, so, I mean, the music is about love. That's what it's about for me. That's, trying to love up on people better, trying to love people how Jesus did. So, I think that's the whole point of Christianity.
When you were in Chicago and the R&B and the Batman and Batman, I think it was
Batman and Batman.
All that kind of stuff. It feels like something changed as far as like the culture around you. Like, do you think the Chicago scene is being ignored, or is it something else? Like, what's going on? Because I feel like the music you put out during that time was phenomenal.
Yeah, no, thank you. I think a lot of cats are like doing a lot of other stuff. The thing about the Chicago scene is it's really rooted to like what's going on in the city as well. So it's not just like ministry.
That was around when Obama got elected.
Yeah, the ministry is very much rooted around like sort of the plight of the people. It's around poverty. It's around what's going on. A lot of what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis is not just like pushing music and the self-promotion stuff, which I hate so much, right? Like it's about doing the actual ministry. And so a lot of cats are like a pastor at a church or doing some other kinds of things where like, he might have put out one album or she might have put out one album every 2 years, but like when you go check them out, like they doing some stuff right now. There's some great artists out there who are making some moves.
And do people know what you're doing? Like your inner circle, your church, do they know exactly what you're doing?
Oh yeah, no. It's a big arts church anyway. They brought a jazz festival to Chicago, so I mean that place is. I knew that I needed to be somewhere that was like I can still be Jay Kwest. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt that call in my heart, even as I was getting a master's degree and learning more and more and forming my own theology and really getting deeper in that kind of way and closer connected to God. The closer I got, the more I heard like, you still Jay Kwest. And that's why the album's coming out now and we're still making music,
Do you feel like people are ignoring the the actual work. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people are big on the theology side, and we're sitting in this room and talking about Jesus, but do we actually go and do stuff in the street? I feel like that's what you're focusing on.
Yeah.
And I don't know if everybody is.
Well, I mean, I think like of all the laws, of all the rules, of all sort of the doctrine that we are very smart about forming, we kind of miss like the thing that Jesus says, right? Is the entire point. Love your God with all your heart, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. That to love God, which is what everybody wants to do, also calls us into community. It calls us to love our neighbor. There's no way you could love God and then not be thinking about what's going on with your people out in the streets. So for me, like, you can't just make a record. You know what I'm saying? That record's got to be connected to some other work. And that's, I mean, I think that's one of the real challenges of CHH or whatever genre I'm in right now. You know what I'm saying? Like is that you got to spend so much time traveling and going to a place. But for a lot of people, and this is what actually took me to seminary, like for a lot of people, like you are the youth ministry of that place. Like this summer, we bringing you in, and that's it. And I would see that, I saw that 150 times touring for R&B and stuff. And after that, it was just like, no, a question started to form in my head. Like, what would it be like if churches could do better at being rooted in their communities and not just like, oh, I'm gonna bring J Kwest through, I'm gonna bring C Micah through, I'm gonna bring Lecrae through to get everybody at the church, right? Like that treats people like numbers. And Christianity is doing that right now. Even the growing forms of it. We're treating people like numbers, and we're counting heads and not relationships.
Wow. That's good, man.
Wow, man. So, I mean, like, I know that's deep. How do you follow that? So what is the sound of the new stuff, man? I mean, you in Chicago, so I mean, some people that know, I mean, outside looking from Chicago, all they know is maybe drill music. You know what I mean? Oh, so they're like, is J Kwest gonna be rapping over some drill tracks, or is it like, are you going to just be you and do what you've been doing for
forever? I mean, another part of Chicago is just that soulful like blend of the East and the West and the South. The Great Migration folks came from Atlanta and Mississippi. Everybody in Chicago got family in Mississippi and got family in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like that soulful kind of blend is still a part of what I do and who I am. I mean, a lot of people listen now and are like, oh, that sounds like Common, because Common an actor now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, yeah, we need that. You know what I'm saying? You hear it and you like, oh, yeah, he connecting with the people. You know what I'm saying? He talking about God, he talking about love, but just being connected with the people. That's happening throughout. And it's called Lemonade. It's about making the best out of any situation. That's the old cliche, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right? But it's more about like not even just as a person, but as a community. What the Black community has been given right now. How can we make the best out of that? How can we squeeze these lemons and try to do something that's redeeming and can still glorify God? That's what the album's about. It's about my history, my past, kind of history and Christian rap too. Being told by people straight up, like, you don't say Jesus enough. So I can't mess with you.
Wow.
Or with the last record, I Woke Up, like being told straight up, like, you don't say Jesus in there. You say the J is silent. That the line is the J is silent. It's everywhere. You can feel him probably. That's, you know what I'm saying? But they said, you saying Jesus is silent. I can't play your video. Like, I used to be frustrated by that, but y'all, like, for real, it took me a while to just be like, I got to do what I got to do. God is calling me to something, whatever it ends up being. Like, some people just ain't gonna be with it. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about people who say that? Because they obviously don't know your heart. Like, they knew how much time you put into loving God and studying His Word and being about His people. Like, how do they? I mean, pride would. This is me. Pride would tell me to say something about that. Like, my pride would be like, yo, do you know what I do on a daily basis? I'm probably in my word more than you. So do you feel that?
That's absolutely true, by the way. Ryan would say that.
Oh, yeah. My neighbor my neighbor stole my dog, and I was like, you must not be a Christian. Like,
listen.
Crazy, right?
I spent 4 years in Morehouse, 3 years at the University of Chicago Divinity School. I know my word.
Yeah.
That ain't even a question. You know what I'm saying? If I felt like I was there to please them and serve them, I would respond.
Wow.
That's not who I'm here for.
Wow. Send me your notes. I'm
not here to get in that argument. You know what I'm saying? I feel certain kinds of ways about certain kinds of conversations. And when asked and it's relevant, I'll share it. But otherwise, I'm here for the people. I'm here to feed the hungry, clothe the naked, give water to those who thirst, man. I ain't got time to argue about the Bible with you.
Woo! I have a question. Okay, so you know, the media when it comes to Chicago, the media is really big on numbers with Chicago. Like, this death happened and there's 100 and some people. Like, for somebody that lives in Chicago, could you really give us a realistic what's going on in Chicago? Because I mean, I've heard some rappers, of course, call it Chirac and then all this other stuff. But for somebody that's there, like, what is it really looking like?
And the Spike Lee movie coming out is called Chirac as well, which caused a lot. And for a lot of that city, that's what it is. That's what it is right now. People dying out there.
Wow.
People getting shot every day, every weekend. You looking at the report, it's 14 people just went down.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And that's that for me. That for me means a couple things, but like, just to be plain about it, you know, it's all this death. But you know what else is going on in Chicago? Chicago has the most churches per capita in any city in the world besides Rome.
Wow.
That means it's a church everywhere.
Wow.
And it's still happening.
Wow.
And that for me means the church got to do something different.
Yeah.
We putting relevant on the sign, but we not relevant. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We trying to be relevant. We trying to do all this hip, cool stuff like rappers do in our genre, man. They'll rock the fitted. I got Jordans on.
Yeah.
I'm cool, right? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Stuff happening. And when I see that, like, on a day-to-day basis, like, it just makes me say, like, man, we got to do something real and real different, because it is Chirac. It's a war zone out there. There are places I can't go. There are things that I was able to do when I was a kid that I'm not sure my daughter's gonna be able to do. Wow. And that's home. That's my city. I love that. Yeah. So I mean, I'm emotional right now, man. But like, this is real. Like, this, the opportunity to do ministry is about more than scripture, man. Yeah. We gotta live this thing, because there are actual lives on the line right now, man. Wow. That for me just changes everything. You know, I did a guy who, y'all were talking about secular artists and stuff. Chief Keef is, you know, the sort of the name in Chicago. And he had signed a rapper named Capo. And Capo got shot in the head, and it was on YouTube, him dying. 45-second video. It was crazy, the retribution, all of that stuff. And the family called me to do the funeral. You know what I'm saying? Like, that I'm not bragging about that. I'm saying, like, that's what I want to do. I want, when folks who are not connected to God, when they need to feel connected to God, they know where to go. That's what I hope, you know, the ministry of J Kwest is. You know, it's not going to always be out there, but like, when you need it, like, that's the homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, he good with us. Yeah. You know, I can go in those blocks where people can't go right now because of that relationship that we have through the music, through just building with folks, and saying to somebody like Herbo, who did a song with Nicki Minaj, sitting with him and just telling him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm praying for you, thinking about you, man. You know what I'm saying? You need anything, holla at me. You know, like, that creates that kind of possibility.
Wow, man. Well, we appreciate you sitting with us, man, because we've been waiting to talk to you for a long time, man.
It's been, man, y'all are so awesome, though, for real. And y'all conversations, I listen all the time, because y'all are talking about real stuff that people need to talk about.
And I think what people appreciate about us is because we can have a conversation where I disagree with Ryan wholeheartedly. Yeah. And I'll tell him, but we still family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's the stuff that needs to happen, where people can be honest and say, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that, but let's come to something. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you coming through. I know you got to catch the flight, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all. Lemonade coming soon.
That's what's up, man. All right, so we're going to make an awkward transition to fantasy football.
Yeah. I just said there's so much real stuff happening in the world right now. I'm like, well, I can't really say anything. I'm talking about fantasy. So, okay. All right. So, this week in fantasy football, man, we have a couple things going on this week, man. A really big game is happening this week.